Let's get comfy. Right, here we go. HMV. Thank you very much. Baz from Massive Wagons. Rock band Massive Wagons from the north of England. HMV have very kindly asked me to run through 10 of my favourite albums. If I'm brutally honest with you, I'm a bit of a scatterbrain. I don't even know if I own my favourite 10 albums. I don't even know what my favourite 10 albums are. I don't know if I own them all. And I certainly don't own them all on vinyl. I might be on tapes somewhere, CDs. And most of my favourite albums I gave away to Adam. Adam in our band in Massive Wagons had a little girl, so I thought for a present when she was born I would give her a collection of classic albums, so I don't own them anymore and I've never had a chance to replace them. But I've had to go through. I've gone through my vinyl and I've picked out 10 albums which I'm a fan of, which I dig and which I think are worth checking out and mean something to me. Right, here we go. Number 1. Ooh, band called The Music. Look, it's even got the HMV sticker on it. Supporting. Yeah, The Music are a band. Yeah, well, in early 2000s, they became something. I discovered them. They just came and went. They just came out like the band I was looking for. They were just the band I was looking for. I was into the Stone Roses, I was into the Charlatans, I was into the real indie stuff, Primal Scream, and then those bands have been around for years. And these guys came along, and they were just like, wow, these are like the new breed of those bands. And then before you knew it, poof, that guy's a saucy. They were gone. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think they're going anymore. Or if they are going, I'm unaware of anything they do. But this is a brilliant album, and if you're into that sort of thing, indie guitar dance kind of vibe, this is a great album. The Music, yeah. Yeah, another one. Let's have a go. Limp BIZKIT. It's more like it, innit? Eh? Limp BIZKIT. Yeah. Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavoured water. When this came out. Again, I'd heard nothing like it. It was the whole new metal thing. I don't know if it's aged very well for some people because it's a part of a certain part of my life. I'm still a big fan. I think it's ace. I got to see them. Well, they were playing at Download a few years ago, and I was absolutely overjoyed that I got to see them. Just got totally wasted and missed them, so I was mortified at that. So I still have never seen them. This is. I never had this album off repeat for friggin' hell months. I would listen to this regularly all the time. I just think it's a mega album. Loads of attitude, love it. Let's have a go. Here's another weird one for you. It's not weird being an Elvis fan at all, but it's the album Girls Girls Girls. It's a movie soundtrack to the movie Girls Girls Girls, obviously. I got this when I was a kid. Crikey, 7, 8 years old, something like that. Elvis is the king of rock and roll. He's just the coolest man ever. And I used to listen. I got an old record player off my mum that she had when she was a teenager, and she kept it for all them years. And she gave it me when I was about 10. I got a few albums, you know. This was one of them. I don't think it's a classic Elvis album, if we're going to delve into Elvis's classic back catalogue. But to me, it means a lot. The songs are just great. Return to Sender is just one of my favourite Elvis songs. Thanks to the Rolling Sea. Yeah, we're coming in loaded. It's just a theme. The songs from the film. It's great. If you're an Elvis fan, you've not heard it, give it a go. Now we're getting into it. Look, another curveball. Straight out of Compton, NWA. When I was at school, I borrowed some albums off a guy. He was listening to some like dance music or something. I was like, give us a go with that. And he's like, yeah, I'll give you these tape cassettes. Give me these tapes. And I was like, nice one. And in amongst them was this. And I don't think he'd meant to give me this for whatever reason. I don't think it was intentional. It wasn't precious over it or anything. It just slipped in there. And I couldn't stop listening to it. I couldn't stop listening to it. I've always been a fan of honesty in music. I think it shines through. And these guys, you just, through their music, you just know what they're going through, where they're from, what they're doing. The brutally honest lyrics, just paints a picture for me. Just paints a picture. I'm not really a big fan of hip hop, rapping hip hop. The sort of later years, the rapping about cars and money and all that crap. This is stuff about. This is you knew these guys are from the streets, you know, and rapping about friends getting shot and stuff like that, and the police, and you know it's honesty and it's true. So, and that really shines through. And I just think it's an absolute classic, and the vibe of it, the tunes. It's just an amazing album. Take my word for it. I'm a massive Who fan. Massive Who fan. Always have been. I followed the Who for years. I was an obsessive, an absolute nut from about the late 90s, 98, 99, for about 10 years. I just didn't listen to much else than the Who. I'd watched and listened to the Who all the time. Four lead guys: a lead singer, a lead guitar player, a lead bass player, and a lead drummer. This album is just amazing. There's not a bad track on it. Barbara O'Reilly, Bargain, Love It for Keeping My Wife, Song Is Over, Getting in Tune, Going Mobile is amazing. Into Behind Blue Eyes and Won't Get Filled Again. Those last three tunes on this album are just classics. What a band. I don't think there's anybody that sounds like them. The stories about them, the way they lived, what they did, who they were, just cool guys. Just so cool. Just had it all for me. Power, attitude, talent, just everything. And this is probably the top of the pile. There's some of the Who albums. Odds and Sods is a great album. Weird Who album. Live at Leeds is one of the best live albums ever. But this is probably the best one. This is the one to pick up. You know what I mean? If you're new to them, this is the one. This is the one to go for, I would say. Right, odd one. Odd album alert. Yeah, I got it from my dad because I like the cover. So what's that? It's Pat Travers, Making Magic. Pat Travers is an American blues guitar player, blues rock and roll, heavy blues, a bit like Stevie Ray Vaughan, a bit more rock and roll than Stevie Ray Vaughan, but that kind of thing, you know. And he plays a Les Paul, doesn't play a Strat. But this album is an absolute. Again, it's just 8 tracks. There's not a bad track on it. Rock and Roll Susie and Statesboro Blues are my favourite tracks on it. Well, I mean, what a cool guy. What a cool guy, yeah? It's just a banger, absolute banger. You put it on start to finish, it's just loud, in your face, blues, 12-bar, shredding solos, it's just everything you want. Funny fact, Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden played drums with Pat Travis, and he's on this album, yeah. Nico, for the only Iron Maiden aficionados, yeah. I nearly got to see him last year, but due to one or two things, he never came over, so yeah, I was pretty good about that. Anyway, yeah, where we at? Number, we've got 3 left, so that's number 4, 7. Got to have these guys in here. AC/DC, yeah, POWERAGE. I mean, for me, it's not only the greatest AC/DC album, which is a feat in itself, it's the greatest album of all time. One of the greatest albums of all time. It's an album I can put on and never twitch off ever. I could probably listen to this album from start to finish for the rest of my life. If I was on a desert island, this would be coming. It's got the heaviest, meanest, dirtiest blues rock and roll guitar you've ever heard in your whole life. Probably the rawest recording ever. Just turn it up and just hit it as hard as you can, kind of attitude. Just amazing. Yeah, Down Payment Blues, Gone Shooting. I think these are Bond's best lyrics. I think a lot of AC/DC fans, even into the Bond era stuff, think these are Bond's best lyrics. I already agonised over his lyrics. Was he a great lyricist? I don't really know. He got the job done. But however good a lyricist he is, if he's agonising over his lyrics and rewriting them, then he's putting a lot of heart and soul into it. And for me, that's good enough, you know. Yeah, what an album. Down Payment Blues is just probably his best lyrical work anyway. AC/DC, POWERAGE. Bit more of a curveball, maybe, for people that know me. People that don't, maybe not. No. Charlatans, Telling Stories, band I've never really spoke about, to be honest. Another band that were a big part of the early years of my life when I was into all the 90s indie stuff. I liked all of it. I liked all the 90s stuff. I loved the 90s dance. I loved 90s rock. I wasn't really into the American rock, Pearl Jam and that. I was more into the Brit rock, the Wild Arts, TerraVision, and all the indie stuff really. Oasis, massive Oasis fan. I mean, yeah, they get a lot of crap, don't they? People don't like them for whatever reason, but yeah, I thought they were amazing. And the Charlatans, what a band. Some people say they're a knockoff Stone Roses band. I was a massive Stone Roses fan as well, so I liked them. I liked them anyway. Yeah, North Country Boy telling stories one to another. How High. Some of the this is probably their biggest album, to be honest. It's one of their great. It's got most of the biggest tracks on it. I like all their stuff, to be honest. But you know, if you're picking a Charlatans album and you want to have a go at the Charlatans, this is the album. Tim Burgess is an amazing frontman and a great songwriter. So yeah, there you go. And last but no, I was wrong. I've got 2 left. What an idiot. So that was number 6, wasn't it? This is number 9. There we go. Yeah, this is an album I've talked about before. Dire Straits. Dire Straits. This album for me, probably my first introduction to guitar music as a kid. Purely through it being on in my dad's car everywhere we went, all the time. I didn't know what I was listening to. I just knew the songs. It's one of them albums where I'd listen to it all the time in my dad's car, sat in the back, and inadvertently I'd listen to the album 10 years later and I'd know the track list and I know every word to every song, but I hadn't listened to it for 10 years. But now do I know that? Because it was hammered into me at a young age. And then I found later on in life I loved the album. I love it. I picked it up for myself and listened to it, and just the song So Far Away, Money for Nothing, Walk of Life, Your Latest Trick. Wow, I mean, Brothers in Arms is the last track on it, and that's the title track. Brothers in Arms is one of the best songs ever written. Probably one of the best guitar solos ever written, I think. Mark Knopfler is an unbelievable songwriter. His lyrics speak to me completely. So honest, and he paints, again, he's a guy that paints a picture in my mind. Yeah, and I just think he's amazing, Mark Knopfler. What a guy! And this is for me. Excuse me, one of the best albums ever, and certainly I think my favourite of Dire Straits albums. Yeah, Money for Nothing. Brothers in Arms. That's not Money for Nothing, is it? That's black with a neon fella on it. This is Brothers in Arms. That's this one. What an idiot. And last but not least, these are not done in any sort of order or anything. This is just how they fell, how they landed when I ripped them out of the thingy on the wall. Yeah, UFO, The Wild, the Willing, and the Innocent. UFO are a band I didn't really get into until I met the rest of the guys in our band, Adam in particular and Alex, who were brothers, Adam and Alex Fisselthwaite. I knew odd UFO songs, some of the big tracks. But Adam introduced me to a track called The Profession of Violence, and he told me he thought it was the best guitar solo ever written, and that was a long time ago. And I would probably agree. It's one of the best, most well crafted guitar solos ever. Tonka Chapman. It's not a Shen-Carrera album, which to a lot of UFO fans would probably want to punch me in the face for saying how dare you not choose a Shen-Carrera album. Tonka Chapman, I think. I don't have any loyalties to any of the UFO eras. Do you know what I mean? So I don't draw allegiance to Michael Schenker. Although as amazing as Michael Schenker is and all the Schenker stuff is amazing, I just like what I like. And Tonka Chapman played on this, and Tonka Chapman wrote that solo and played that solo, and I think it's incredible. And Adam was right. And it's just Change Chains is another amazing track on this album. The whole album is great. So yeah. Probably not a UFO classic. Probably not for the aficionados, and I'll probably have UFO fans probably want to punch my head in when they say this. But yeah, for me, UFO, Wild, Willing, and the Innocent, I think that's a great album. So yeah, that's my 10 albums I really like. Yeah, and a little bit about them. So yeah, thanks for supporting what we do. Thanks for HMV for they've been long time supporters of us. Let's play in their stores. They've sold our albums. They've promoted us. It's been absolutely amazing. And yeah, you need to get out there and support vinyl, support buying music again, and keep these shops alive. Because without them, the world is a duller place. You know what I mean? So yeah, we've been Massive Wagons, and I've been Barry Mills. House of Noise out in July. That's our next album. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later.